Today, we're going to talk about pressure, especially all of the pressure we put on a first draft, especially the blank page and the first paragraph of the first draft. So, if you ever get your inner critic activated by worrying too much about what you're going to say, welcome to this video because we're going to talk about how to get through it and be really productive no matter what happens. So lately I've been on Threads. And on Threads, there is a robust community of writers that I am loving. But I've also noticed there's a lot of talk about word count and measuring progress through word count, which is great. It's a dopamine hit. Who doesn't like that? But at the same time, for me, it's not the best measure of progress because it puts a lot of pressure on you. And the words you're putting out might not be the words you want to ultimately publish. And so I have a system I love that takes all the pressure off, and it also allows me to be more productive. And by productive, I mean make regular, quick progress. So let's get into it. The key word I want to talk about is layering your drafts. So, as I mentioned, I don't really think a lot about word count. What I like to think about are basically 5 letters, five like progress letters I give myself, like grades, but they're letters that just means it's not about the quality of the work. It's that I'm making progress on the quality of the work. And so that's what takes the pressure off. Really, the gold of your book is in the drafts. So rather than measuring your progress by word count, measure it by drafts. I'm going to get more specific about what that is, but first I want to talk about why it's so important. When we make a draft, we need to be able to cross out when we get it wrong, when we don't want to use a paragraph. We can't be stingy about words and just fill up the space with any old words. We want to really be getting closer and closer to the ultimate product we want to publish and show people. And so if we're stingy about words, we don't give ourselves the freedom to write badly. We don't give ourselves the freedom to throw spaghetti on the wall. We don't give ourselves the freedom to make mistakes and get it wrong while we're on the path to getting it right. So let me tell you about these 5 letters I use to measure my progress. So first, N. When I start a draft, I never started on a blank page. N is for notes. It just means that I've pulled some random ideas or random outline titles out of the air. So I'm no longer working with air, I'm working with notes. N for notes. Next, D for draft. Draft means detailed notes in chronological order. So I have a specific idea from those notes. I have more detailed notes with some serious paragraphs in there, and they're chronological, and they address all of the points that I'm going to need to get to, plot points, nonfiction points, whatever kind of points you want to talk about. They're basically in the chronological order that they will be when I finally get where I want to go. Middle, M for messy middle. Now, this is where I'm moving stuff around. This is where I'm Xing out some of those paragraphs. M is a messy place to be, but it's also where everything gets sussed out and you need the freedom. You want to be able to really experiment and have some fun and be playful about it. Now, after messing around in the middle for a while, I get myself to A. A is almost. I got to give myself an almost in this process. So once it's about at the word count that it's ultimately going to be the chapter, then I start to put an A on it because now I'm just I'm no longer Xing out entire paragraphs. I'm just making some adjustments before I get to the F. And F in my letter process is a wonderful thing. It means it's on final. Thank goodness, final. And that at every step of the way, every push forward, I'm getting my dopamine. I'm feeling like I'm making progress. I feel as if, even though I might have no idea how the thing is going to turn out, I do feel like I have a basic idea of what I'm doing and where I'm going in a directional way with the draft. So that's a little bit behind the scenes. And right below, I have a resource to help you with an entry point. Really, that's what the idea I want to close on. Because so now we have our drafts, keyword layering. So you don't need the pressure of sitting down and figuring and thinking you have to figure everything all out at once. You just layer on draft after draft after draft. Notes, draft, middle, almost final. And so I have a resource below to help you do that, because even if you think you're on a blank page, you're not on a blank page. I've got resources for you. So this is the getting your outline together so you have a view of your book on one page, the one page outline template. And along with that, I also have other prompts and other resources. So if you are stuck at the notes place, if you're stuck at the draft place, get the resource below and it will help you out wherever you are in the writing process, because every single Friday I put out a new video to help you along the way. So I hope this has been helpful. Grab the resource below. So much love. Talk soon. Bye.